the guys potentially circle back with a better schedule for them. But we can talk about it. Henry and I have covered it twice in two different calls. One was just a regular call, an introductory, and then we did a full Zoom with his BDC manager, and we kind of walked through step by step the whole system. And basically what I'm proposing as what I see can help based on what's not currently in effect from the business. But do you have you gotten any kind of feedback from anybody or any backstory as to like what it is that I'm even talking about? Have you talked to Tony about it a little bit? Like how what stage are you in? Can you share that, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, one time. What stage am I in and what?
Like in terms of knowing what it is that I'm proposing, right? Like what are we even talking about, this remarketing and digital marketing stuff? Like do you have a little bit of information?
Zero,
Zero.
zero, nothing,
Okay, so
nada,
we're starting from the beginning.
nada.
Okay.
They just said you're a magician, you make stuff happen.
Okay. Just a quick background in regards to automotive. I was from New Jersey. Do you know Vlad, my father, or no? Have you ever met him?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe by face.
But anyway, so I've been in the car industry since basically I was 18, and I left in 2015 to go digital. But the store, this AMG store, it was actually the store that I opened and worked on for a couple of years, and then I had a problem. And so I'm, in terms of the auto industry, was in it for like 15, 17 years. I had three stores, and I had a lot of employees and a lot of salespeople and a lot of cars as well. So I'm really familiar with the internal, day to day, the challenges and all that stuff. So like, I'm a car dealer in my blood. And I know, I had the BDC reps, I had my sales managers, I had all that stuff, and trying to, buy the cars that market them and get them sold and maximize each day and each month and everything like that. And then obviously now I do digital marketing. So the systems that I have in place and the solutions that I'm going to kind of talk about are supplements to all the efforts that you and your teams put in on a daily basis. They're not replacements for what you already do by any means whatsoever. So all it is just like a complementary automation digital system that will enhance and impact your BDC and your salespeople in a positive way. By kind of bridging the gap of the prospects that we can't reach all the time. We can't call them. They don't answer. They're busy, and obviously if we could, we'd follow up everybody all the time and try to sell as many cars, but it's just not humanly possible. So the systems that we put in are going to be able to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So just as a quick summary, that was that. My first question to you would be like, do you ever buy anything online? Whether it's sneakers or like Amazon, or do you shop for anything online?
I mean, sometimes, but not so much. Typically, my wife does the shopping.
Ditto, same. But what about which social media platform, if any, do you personally use? Like, Friday night, Saturday, or Sunday, whatever, when you're off. Like, is there any social platform that you personally use?
Google and Amazon.
And what about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any of those?
Yep. Sure.
Okay. So let's say you go on Nike, you go to buy a pair of sneakers, and then you go on Instagram, the next day, and now you're starting to get ads for different sneaker brands plus Nike, and potentially the sneakers that you looked on Nike or whatever, Adidas or whatever you're looking at.
I don't even need to go on anywhere. As long as I say it by my Alexa, it already follows me.
Okay. Yeah. So we have that capacity as well with the Alexa. It's a little newer in terms of that, like to come up with the search engine results through voice. So you're even more advanced that way with the voice, but they definitely are listening to us. So you see my screen right now, right? In terms of AMG's website.
Yep.
Okay. So this specifically is a code from Facebook, right? This code, you guys don't currently have it on your AMG store. You don't have it on any of the stores yet. This is the foundational code that gives us the ability to, let's say a person comes to the site, like I'm familiar, Tony, I know where you're advertising. I know what you're spending, like Car Gurus, True Car, Carfax, Cars.com, Auto Trader. They're giving us leads, right? And Tony's representation is about 4,000 per month. And then in terms of website visitors that are going to your website and like coming in and looking at this S class when they go to your website, and they look at it, if they call, if they chat, whatever, they leave. Right now, the system that you have in place, you have no ability to follow those people. What we are looking to basically change, where I'm looking to supplement for your store, is to put the specific codes on the back of the website, load the full 198 car inventory real time as the cars are coming in into Google, into Facebook. So whenever any prospect that comes to your website and basically looks at whatever car they're specifically looking at, within the code is going to pick up the URL of the exact page. And because our inventory is going to be fed into Google and into Facebook, the people are going to now be trailed car for car. So when you open Instagram, because you looked at this 19i8 prior, like let's say I'm on your website, I look at this 19i8, and then later tonight I open Instagram after I put my kids to bed, I'm going to get the ad for this specific car. Then,
Okay.
if it's somebody else, whatever their other car, they look at this 540, 19540, they go on Facebook, they open Facebook, they're going to get this specific car. And it applies to Google, the Google Display Network. Like you can open up any article on ESPN.com or CNN, whatever you're reading, you're going to get the ad that's following. This is why Car Gurus is the #1 lead provider, is because they use this specific remarketing strategy more so than Cars.com and Auto Trader. And this is how they kind of launched in with all this remarketing systems, and were able to beat their, these like prehistoric Cars.com and Auto Traders that used to be the market leaders for lead gen. So this would be the remarketing system. From a technical perspective, does that make sense from just like car for car remarketing, what we would be able to do?
It's a great thing, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes I go on other dealerships' websites.
Okay.
Or
for example,
I don't remember. Another let's say new car store or something, and I'll go on their website or something, or especially if you send an email or anything like that,
yeah,
they will hunt you down and keep on emailing like maniacs,
right.
And they really are more aggressive and I don't think we have that. So this is a great way of doing that, because there's listen, everybody's the same thing. They go online, they look at 20 cars, 10, 20 cars, and they're not exactly sure. Some people are not sure what they want. Some people know what they want, but they're searching anywhere and everywhere. And whoever's gonna keep on calling them and harassing them, and I have your car, might be the guy that gets them.
Yeah.
So the other question is that, how do we know that we got the lead because of you, or not or because we paid a different company for advertising, like one of those
yeah, of course. So that first basic explanation that I gave, with just like car for car remarketing, that's one part. That's just basic website remarketing. Then there's also CRM remarketing. So I can take the lead list, the 4,000 leads that are in the CRM per month. I can go back, we can segment audiences, right? I can take 30 days of leads, load them into Facebook, load them into Google. And now those people, through their email addresses, Google and Facebook can take their data and remarket that audience in a different way, right? Like that's a different, because there's people who come to the website who we don't have their information. And there's more people who come to the website than leads, right? Like if you have 4,000 leads per month, you have like 20,000 website visitors per month that are currently coming to your website, leaving and not being followed. And we don't have their information at all. So the first step was the remarketing of the website. This next part that I'm talking about, CRM remarketing, where it's even more granular. And this is really the supplement to the sales team and the BDC team in terms of their follow-up. Like if you take, my math is if you take 3,000 leads and you wanted your BDC department, how many calls would you say your BDC can make, one human can make per day, like real numbers, not, like exaggerated, or if we push on them and stand on them, like when they come back to their average as a human being, what do you think their volume of phone calls that they can make in a day is?
I'm not sure, but my question is this. So, um, everything you're saying is great. Obviously, this is what you do. You're the expert in this field. It all sounds wonderful, but you're also saying that you're able to let us know how many leads we close because of you, as opposed to not having you.
Yeah. So okay. So I in effect bypass that question, and I'll show you how we can do that.
Mhm.
Um, I just wanted to kind of get into the CRM real quick, just to give you
And
an
and I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily need to know how everything works.
yeah,
I only care about the bottom line is, we pay this guy and we sell extra cars because of him, and
right,
and that's it. How,
right,
why, who, where is not so relevant.
right.
I'm
So
not
basic,
very computer. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, the one thing that would be positive in regards to like whoever's not computer savvy right now, as we work through this, it's not just like digital solution. It's kind of like a consulting situation where we can jump on these biweekly calls with your BDC department, and then with you, whether it's biweekly or monthly, and we actually dive into the data this way, right? Like, because I'm going to have access to the CRM. I understand. I'm going to look at your CRM system and I'm going to say, okay, guys, there's leads past 30 days that are dead. Like they've been categorized by the BDC department from your follow-up chain as dead wood, right? Now I can take, first of all, that list of prospects that you've deemed dead because you weren't able to reach them in the 5 attempts you made in the first 30 days, whether you wanted it to be more or less, let's say 5. I can take that quantity of people. I first of all put them on an email campaign, right? Like if we create email campaigns, we can hit up all those people through an email campaign, through a text campaign. There's a link to the website. When they come back to the website, they're going to take action, right? Their action is going to be either phone call, text, form submission. And in our conversion tracking on Google Analytics, when we get into your website and track everything, we basically track the goals, right? Like form, mobile, click, call. And then when we know where the source is coming from, like right now, this is just an example of one store that I just I'm starting up, but basically, like right now, you could see their form submissions, all of their stuff. We haven't even launched for them yet, and all their leads are either Auto Trader, Car Gurus, Cars.com, Carfax. But we see that, right? So like right now, I'm able to see that. If you were able to give us Google Analytics, like if we went into your Google Analytics, we'd look at that. What's going to happen is when we start running ads, it's going to show us, like it tells me where every website visitor is coming from: direct, referral, organic, social. We're going to have a spike in social. We're going to have a section that says Google ads, right? Google display ads. And these are new forms of marketing. These are the remarketing ads that we launch that drive back visitors, right? These are not first time people. We're going to be remarketing people who already came to the website, and we're going to be taking CRM leads that we already have and bringing them back again as reminder ads. And when they come, the tracking we have again, and then we also have call recording, which again I didn't get into that yet, but like we put phone numbers for each each of our ads. Let's say it's a Google ad. When they click back to your website, the phone number is going to change because they came from our Google ad. Like the face number, it's still going to ring to your BDC department to answer the call, but there's going to be a face number that we record the call, and then you have a dashboard that says Google Ads call, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Right? So for each lead, there's a form submission or a phone call, and we track, and we record each call. So in terms of tracking, the attribution is call recorded, dashboard specifically telling you this came from Google remarketing ads, YouTube remarketing ads, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, we wherever that user goes and spends their time online. And when we get them back to your website to re-inquire or to recall, we're able to have full tracking in regards to that.
Gotcha. Awesome. Hey, I thought other people are gonna join the meeting, or is it just me and you today?
Today, it's just me and you. Vlad actually is listening in as well. It's my father that I told you about. I don't know if he's
Okay.
sound on or not, but Yeah, so that's there's that, and then again the text and the CRM, right? Like we can set up those emails. I did a couple test leads to your store and to M Sport, and for just as like you already know, right? You already said yourself, like they don't have the time. You don't like the way that your internal system is currently set up to follow everybody up. You think that the new car stores have it better. An additional basically service is that I go into the CRM system and work with your BDC department to set up an email campaign, an automated email campaign that's going to go, whatever we decide that it's going to, with management, we'll have our kickoff meeting and we'll say, okay, guys, I'll propose what I think, would work best. We can obviously edit down to what you feel is in line with my opinion. And then we create this full email thread that's going to be automated going out to 90 days. And the same, like if the BDC department is marking people into dead, we're going to have a different drip. We're not going to just mark them dead and then not touch them anymore unless they tell us, to stop. They'll be in a different sequence, right? Like that'll be educational, like we'll write a blog, let's say every 2 weeks, something in regards to the auto industry. And now it's an educational, relevant piece of content. And when we email them, we know if they open it, right? So people who are still on the market are not opening our emails, and then we can look at a different way of looking at our data from all the outreach we're doing and start segmenting people who are actually dead, opening emails and having these type of conversations to say, okay, guys, we just sent an email to 7,000 dead prospects that are 60 days old, and 350 of them are still alive because they're opening our emails. Let's take them and send them an offer through another email campaign or a text campaign, plug them into another offer through Facebook, Instagram ads, and try to reacquire 350 dead prospects that our labor force wasn't able to, service properly through a sales process. And one more point of, like, we talked about remarketing car for car. We can do video production. Let's say I can come into the store and we can take like 10 testimonials, let's say on a Saturday or whatever. Like we can capture people who are buying cars, taking deliveries, get them around the car, get them speaking about their experience, 30 seconds to a minute. And now we can take that content, those like human testimonial ads, and run those as remarketing ads as well, right? So when a person leaves the site, they're going to get car for car remarketing, car for car, whichever car they looked at. Plus, they're going to have additional ads of testimonials of people who had, success stories at the store, playing to them through video, right? Great social proof to convert on their own casual time as like comfort trust builder, right?
Yeah. But look, the more you do, the better, obviously, right? So obviously, the more emails you send, the more things you do, the more leads we'll get. So obviously that's great. Tell me, how many stores are you doing this for?
I have I'm not only automotive. So let's say I have about 30 clients right now. For the past um 90 days or so, I've been helping a large luxury dealer launch from scratch here. So I've been focused on that in regards to automotive. And
Okay.
when I did automotive a few years ago, where I was strictly automotive, we did a lot of that video production and we were really focused on brand development. Now we're in a different situation where we really work with the data. We take the leads, we take the website visitors, and we are using that data to create lead gen, to create attribution, and to create sales. Not just the artistic version of like video and all that stuff. So we've kind of refocused and re-energized our automotive efforts. And speaking to Henry at M Sport, like you guys would be our first New Jersey auto group that we would be taking on. And
Sure.
I think from a market evaluation perspective, if we went and looked at like the pre-owned market, you would be one of the first 1%ers to really execute into this from a pre-owned
Sure.
store.
So so let me tell you some advice for me if you would like some.
Sure.
Um, I'm the owner of the store. I don't actually run the store.
Okay.
So my brother Tony actually runs everything, manages everyone. I do very little. I just step in if there's a problem, if they need me for something. So I do less than 1% of what actually the dealership needs and does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so you're aware. So I'm not involved in the day to day. I'm only involved with the problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, my thing is that everything you do works. You know what I mean? If I tell everyone, listen, let's everybody make 10 phone calls, 10 extra phone calls a day, maybe something turns out from it, right? So you're obviously good at the internet stuff, which I am not. Everything you said sounds great. My question is that are you able to say, hey, look, what is every single person who you're going to talk to? At the end of the day, it all comes down to money. They're like, well, it's kind of a lot of money. We have to pay him. We're not sure will it work, won't it work. My thing is that if you offer to them, look, guys, this is what I normally charge, but I'm going to charge you significantly less for the first 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is, get your foot through the door. Once you get your foot through the door and they see everything, it's one thing you're saying, you show me pictures, and what you do is understandable. I see it online, like you said. You look for something, and then all of a sudden it follows you every website you go to, and so on and so forth. So this stuff, we're not reinventing the wheel. You're doing something that works. It works for the rest of the world. Why shouldn't it work for us as well, right? My thing is that try to get your foot in the door by saying, look, I'm going to charge you a little less. You guys are going to be so happy with, and in theory, once they see everything, and I'm sure there's going to be, and really, we don't need that many more customers. If you get us extra 5 or 10 customers a month, it's a home run, right? You know what I mean? And look how many thousands of leads we're going through. So that's a really small percentage, in reality, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it should not be a problem for you to do. Maybe even more than that. So if you can get your foot in the door and show us that, hey, look, I'm doing a great job and this and that, that's it. Maybe they'll keep you for the next 10 years. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's my little bit of advice. You're welcome to take it or not, but that's that. So like I said, I like everything you do. Everything you do is wonderful. I wish you could work for us and only for us. But you live in Florida, you have a company, this is what you do. So like I said, really talk to Tony, the other guys, I'll talk to them as well. I'll tell them, look, I like this guys. If you could make something work, I'd love to do it. I'd love for you to show us that, hey, this is bringing more customers. And especially if there's a way, sometimes there's really no way to know if the customer came from you or not, but sometimes there is, right? So
I would say it really is possible. Like again, no one likes guarantee in terms of results, full results. But from a technical perspective, like I would just simplify it. We can record every phone call. There's a lot of there's dealerships, like one of the biggest problems in I'm sure right, like is when the phone calls come in first time as a lead, great. We have that information. They came in from Car Gurus or cars.com or True Car because they record that first call. What about all the calls that are coming back after that? Like when our sales team reaches out, they leave a message or they text or they send an email, and now all these additional phone calls that are coming in. There's no like internal tracking attribution for the incoming calls that are coming in today, in addition to what the new leads are, and where people are returning like second, third, fourth time. And then there's this quality control aspect that's also can do 5, 10, 15, 20 more cars per month for you if that quality control was there from that top end. So like my goal is to, yes, the remarketing is going to play. The It's going to be tracked. The calls will be tracked. The forms will be tracked. We'll know how my
but I'll,
remarketing
I'll give
has.
you I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody calls us today or emails or calls or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
And he says, okay, I'll come in next week. And now you're for the whole week you're emailing him, right? Because he, let's say, emailed us on this BMW here. So you're sending him BMWs all week long, and then he comes next week and buys the BMW. So would he have came anyways if it wasn't for you, or did he come because you kept on emailing him? You know what I mean? So sometimes you never know. But again, at the end of the day, um, some of them you will know. You'll say, look, we tracked this guy, we called this guy, we emailed this guy, we have, and if we listen to some phone conversations, some of them you'll be able to pinpoint and say, look, these leads I definitely got for you. So, and again, we don't need you to get us 100 leads a month. We need you to get us we'd love 100 leads a month, but you don't necessarily have to, if you get 5, 10, 20 leads extra a month, home run. That would be great. So now the question is, get your foot through the door, figure out how you can work with everyone. Tell them, look, and up to you. You don't have to. Just this is my old thing is once you get your foot in the door and you start working and you say, look, we're doing a good job. Everything is great. From then you keep on growing and hopefully you can build a long-term relationship. So it's not just a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, but possibly staying on board for a long time, as long as you produce and do everything you say. And really, it's not that difficult. You know what I mean? This is what you do, and we have an enormous amount of volume of leads. So for you to turn, 4,000 leads into, 5 or 10 customers, it's not such a difficult job to do, I think. But yeah, so that's that.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
Guys, can I step in a conversation, please? Leon, how you doing? My name is Vlad.
Hi, Vlad. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I know you for a long time. Your name in the conversations. I don't know if you know. Basically, that store you own and Tolik managed one of them. It's our store. AMG. This is actually Nick built the store and thrift sale. So he was the owner of that organization. We were partners there. So
yes, he told me. Very nice.
Yes. So basically, Nick grew up in this business since he was 18. He started working with me, and just basically very knowledgeable in day-to-day operation from every angle, purchasing car, customer relationship, repairs, acquiring cars. He's been going to the auctions with me since he was 18, as I said. He started doing eBay when he was 18 in early 2000s. So he actually built that digital part of our organization, and that's why we were extremely successful until that some unimaginable situations happened to us. My point is, he's always been in front on age of all the digital innovations in car business. So after that, he went to digital space and advertising fully. And 3 years ago, we've been doing, based on your question, if he's been working with the car industry, we've been working in different capacities, and we've been doing digital marketing. He's been running the digital marketing for Linz operation in Bloomfield, Linz Nissan, Linz Hyundai, Linz Subaru. Then we've been doing Lexus of Englewood and Infinity and the GMC place for them. And we've been working with multiple pre-owned dealerships here, but in a different capacity. And the price tag then, it was $7,500 a month, which was not include no retargeting. It was just a simply video content, creating video content, and just basically improve the way the dealership ever communicate with their customer bases. And what I was listening very carefully, your proposal with the price approach and leads, increasing amount of leads. I don't think you, just because you're not in the car business, as far as I know, because you were dragged there with all this 20 endeavors, different acquiring different dealerships and grow the organization. You were just overlooking what's going on there. But day-to-day operation, and I'm in the business, and I've been in the business for last 30 years, in and out. But the last 20 years, I've been just constantly in the business. And the amount of leads we all, as the industry, generating, but never been able to put quality work through our BDCs and sales teams. We're losing and living untouched people we already have, because you're paying all these advertisers, all these platforms, car gurus like I'm doing, and Cars.com. And I'm right now operating on a small capacity with the people. And I constantly force them to, I have to stay on top of them, micromanage them, and never get the level of success I need, or anybody in this. I know everybody in this industry, they facing the same problem, and nobody actually right now qualify even the digital marketing, because they have either digital marketing quality, but they don't have car business experience and deep understanding how car business operates, and they overcharging everybody. So here Nick went already from overcharging stage, doing some work which it's basically doesn't create ROI, because as you said, absolutely right, bottom line, we're looking for numbers, what this investment will bring me. And right now the industry issue, we cannot even work properly all the leads we already have. So what and it took me sometimes to understand what the value proposition from his right now, understanding what he can bring to the industry, not to bring additional leads. It's no value there, because you can, not you, but industry overall, we cannot properly work all those people who come through the doors. We cannot manage where they came from, how long they've been looking for cars, how after they came to our website, we can follow them up and just constantly be on their radar. Not as very offensive, but nicely reminder, you've been there, you left, you didn't do anything, and this is what you've been looking for. And this is constantly, as we know, human psychology, if I see something in front of my face, wherever I go, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform. So today I'm using, and I see that picture of the car I was looking for a week ago, 2 weeks ago, months ago. This is just trick and trigger to take action. Not definitely, but most likely. So this is ability, and this is the power of this, like a very precise, pointy targeting of our customers. This is where the value it's gonna come from. So, and nobody doing it, because he just offered to me to go through all these people we used to work, and he go and see, like for example, I'm meeting with Linz Nissan next week after New Year. He look all this money they invest 3 years ago when they were doing this for every store, and this content is completely dead. They never use that, and they've been paying. They agreed to pay $22,000 to us, because they were paying $60,000 to other companies. Just a regular marketing company who have no idea about car business at all. And the way they were just advertising their content and their inventory, it was just outdated. Whatever they were doing 30 years ago, they still doing the same way. And they keep charging $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, because this is what the industry used to, especially new car stores.
Yep.
So now,
listen,
this is
maybe a new car
yes.
store. Yeah, maybe a new car store has a bigger budget. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I like what you're saying. If you can make it happen, great. At the end of the day, Tony, the managers, they'd all have to agree and get you on board. So, like I said, figure out how to get on board. Maybe do a little short-term test or something. And once you prove that, hey, I got you some extra leads, they're gonna love you and they're gonna want you to stay long-term, which is I think what the goal is, right? You're not looking to do something for a month or two. You're trying to stay for many years.
Yeah, the value is, and then really the brand and the content creation is a short term. That was like the foot in the door. Having left, like we work with industries that are startups or like don't have lead. Like if you look at a doctor or a lawyer or a home builder or a contractor, they don't have lead platforms like Car Gurus and Auto Trader and Cars.com. Subscription models. So we went and we actually take those type of industries and create leads for them from scratch, right? So where their phones are not ringing, we get them on the front of Google, and when people are searching, and then they get those leads, and then we remarket and we build multi-month data pools, and then we remarket everybody so that they're working with a larger audience. So we're like reverse engineering all the other industries against what the car industry already has. So it's kind of like flipping the switch. You already have the leads. It's just in order to call 3,000 leads today, you need like 30, 35 reps in your store to hit up all your leads today if you wanted to do a push, which, you know, it's not possible. Like if you can do 80, 100 calls. I think we're completely on the same page. But through the reverse engineering model, like our clients are multi-year engagements. You know, once we start, the leads start to come in and they grow and they get these 5, 10x ROIs, 15x ROIs in certain situations. And they don't have budgets like you, not even close. Like the overhead that you're experiencing and that you're on the hook for, multi-hundred thousands of dollars, right? To just, you know, open the doors every month. So again, I'm very, you know, our overhead when we in 2015 was 800,000 a month that we were covering, right? So like I feel you more than anybody else we could probably be on the phone with together talking about this industry, especially from as an independent operator, right? Like, you know, you're not a new car store, you're an independent, and it's a little bit more challenging to get the banks and all the approvals and everything like that. So
Sure.
here, you know, we really are. It's like a consulting. It's not just you know, it's foot in the door and it's just like a digital solution. It's actually, you know, you're saying like, yes, you like what I'm saying, and you get an access to my mind and to my, like, you know, energy of understanding the industry and helping you. My whole entire intent is long-term relationships. Like I'm not in this is a lot of, you know, manual and like, you know, intensive work to get going. Once it's really, you know, streamlined, yeah, like after 3-6 months, it's humming away and we're just, you know, at top of the game. But really the intention is long-term, you know, relationship, right? So that's that's definitely my number one priority with anybody that I get into business with today. You know, it's long-term relationship.
Sure, sure. Awesome. And things also change with time to time. Who knows what's going to happen in the future?
Yeah.
Now, I got your text. So
I can tell you what is going to happen in the future. In the future, when the data is going to be aggregated every month, you're going to be into that process. More and more data will be aggregated from all your customers, and all this targeting, pinpoint targeting, will only improve. So, and more people, it's going to be touched with you already have in your CRM and your database. More people, they will know about you and they will get reminders. So you still in business and you still selling cars. And if they already once went on your site, this is it's going to be a reminder when they already forget about you. So this is not exist so far in the business, in the car business, in a general sense, especially
Can I
in the
just jump
pre-owned
in?
industry.
Let me just
Yes.
jump in on that specific point, just as an idea. And again, this is like the, you know, future development, like phase one. You're not even tracking the website visitors right now, and that, you know, is phase one. The Vlad, you know, what he's referencing is if you take 2 years of sold units from 2 years ago, right, or 3 years ago, pre-owned cars, take all that data from 2 years ago, load them into Facebook, Instagram, Google, and run a specific ad to them, focusing on their trade-ins, and they already know who you are because they bought, you know, they sold cars from you. That's like this figure of 100 units a month times 12, right? 1,200 cars times 2 years. You could take, you know, a 2,400 person pool of 2 to 3 year old prospects and run a $500 trade-in extra coupon, or what, you know, I mean, like a creative offer, an idea, right? Like it's the end of the month in these last 5 days you wanted to push. Like these are the type of things that we could do. We could take data, load it in, create a unique offer, run that offer. Every single click that comes from that offer can be tracked, recorded, you know, like, you know, the coupon
Sure.
code can be in there, the QR codes, all that stuff, you know, inside of the store, also the QR code. I don't think you guys are implementing that yet as well. It's a separate topic, but technical evolution and just like using that aggregated data is definitely something that the creative, like we don't have to go too far from executing any idea that we have, I guess, is really like the foundational point. Like whatever your general managers want to do, from a creative perspective, and then like taking your data pool and what you already have and say, hey, I have this idea. It's Saturday, it's Friday. Like back in the day, I used to literally go through Gmail on Fridays and like one by one email all our old prospects, like in 2000
Sure.
freaking, 8. Now on a Thursday, they can come up with their own internal like 30-minute meeting on managers and think of like, hey guys, what are we going to do this week with our data with a specific offer that we can run, to make sure that Saturday's appointment book is, 35 appointments and we do 25 units on a Saturday or whatever the quantity that is expected.
So let me ask you this: is that price negotiable to $3,500 a month for the first 6 months?
It can go to 5,500 very easy, Leon. It can go only up from there. So 3,500, I told him, you have to take in consideration, this is Tony. I'm working with Tony for quite some time already. And we possibly will help him with the all 3 stores because Tony said, I want, if we're going to do that, I want in every store. So it's already, and this is the cheapest investment in your advertising so far you're doing today in every store of yours. And none of them will just basically will be able, based on this 3,500 investment, generate that quality on a long run without any additional human resources. You have to take in consideration time and energy to manage them, time and energy to make sure they're doing their job properly, financial involvement to pay everyone who is additional person on your team. They get sick, they get lazy, they get in confrontation with somebody. Here you getting piece of software, guy who is last 5 years scalpel, like using already just get so much better from where he started 5 years ago and where he is right now with that specific knowledge about car business. And I guarantee you in the next year, when we see your improvement will go in sales, the prices is going to go up because the prices, all these e-commerces, all of them, who is successful, the most biggest expense they have, this is retargeting. How properly follow up the customer. If they making,
hey, listen,
if the company,
guys,
yes.
Guys, I got to run. I have someone in front of me, but like I said, I'm going to put in a good word for Tony with you guys. Everything you're saying, it makes sense. It looks good. And I'm very confident you'll be able to get a few more leads than what we have already.
No,
Leon, it was great to meet you. What industry are you in, if I can ask you real fast, besides this ownership of the car business? What do you do?
I do the cars and I do real estate. I buy and sell foreclosures.
Okay. I mean, if you, there's, probably some, I don't know, maybe send me your website on a text. I'll take a look if you have, that form of business.
He can help you with the real estate as well.
Yeah, I do some, I have a national custom home builder client. So I'm pretty familiar with that space as well, if you ever want to chop it up.
All right. Well, nice talking to you guys, and hopefully we talk soon.
Okay, Leon, great to
meet
you.
Happy holidays. Nice to meet you guys.
You too. Take care.
Thank you, Leon.
Take care.